The Kanem Borno Empire is one of the oldest empires in Africa. It was founded around the year 926 AD. It once stretched from its capital in Jimmy around the Lake Chad to southern Chad to its north, northern Cameroon to its east, and northeast Nigeria to its south. The Kanem Borno Empire was ruled by the Mays, who were the Saifawa Dynasty with Islamic principles. Trouble started in the 14th century when the ruling family in the empire started fighting for the throne within themselves. The descendants of May Dawood Nikalemi and May Idris Nikalemi started unaliving each other from the year 1376. This went so bad that between a period of 72 years, about 15 Mays were unalived. While this was going on, the Bulala tribe also was rebelling against the empire. Some people attribute the fall of the Saifawa Dynasty to the time of May Dunami II, who ruled Kanem Borno Empire from 1221 to 1259. This period was the peak of the empire. They won all their wars and the empire was very rich. There was a sealed package that was called the Mune, which was passed down to each May of the empire. They were instructed to never open the Mune. The Mune was taken to battle and they believed that it was the sacred weapon that gave them victory. But May Dunama II, during his time, decided to open the Mune, despite his advisors warning against it. It is said that when he opened it, a wind blew out from it and it caused a hurricane and a creature flew out of it. The Mune later on was discovered to contain a set of rules or Islamic instructions on how to ethically rule, fight wars, be just, be fair, and be noble. After the Mune was opened, wars, famines, and assassination followed. About 500 years later, May Ali IV in 1781 decided to invade the Mandara Kingdom, which is sometimes called the Wandala Kingdom. It was one of the empire's vassal states, and it was also an Islamic state. The May wrote a letter to the king of Mandara telling him, and I quote, "This letter comes from May Ali. Greetings. After these greetings, I am hereby informing you that on a certain day, at a certain hour, I shall be your guest, chief of the Wandala. To that end, I would like to ask you that question. The day the lion decides to set up a house with the hare, or the cat with the chicken, what do the hare and the chicken have to do?" You certainly know the answer to this question, for it is obvious that that day the hare and the chicken will just have to make room for the lion and the cat without waiting to be told twice. The Mandara king received this letter and now called his council of advisors to advise him on what to do. They understood the message clearly and they knew that they were no match for the Kanem Borno Empire. After careful and long deliberation, they now decided they wouldn't fight. So the Mandara king replied the May. In the reply, the Mandara king said they will not abandon their lands because they have nowhere to go, but they are prepared to give up all their wealth, their money, anything the May will desire, and they will obey any order imposed on them. The letter was also accompanied by 1,000 slaves, 100 horses, so many garments, money, and so many other gifts. In addition to all this, 100 naked slaves carried 100 different dishes and pastries to symbolize their submission. The May rejected this offer. He was so angry that he said his horse would urinate in the palace of the Mandara king. In May Ali's reply, he said to the Mandara king that if you have wings, you should fly to the mountains which you use as your hideout. No Mandara army will be in a position to stop the attack. I will act in your country and the war I will wage will forever serve as an example and will re-echo throughout history. According to a chronicler of the events, the battle lasted from noon to sunset. And on that day, they saw with their very eyes the May fleeing the battlefield, that he galloped at full speed towards his own country, caring only for his life. The Mandara army were so successful that they were pursuing the May, not knowing who he was. When they realized who they were chasing, it was inconceivable for them as simple soldiers to make an attempt against the sacred person of a king. Instead, they started shouting salutations to him, Gwe, 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 without touching or harming him. From this defeat, the Saifawa Dynasty crumbled completely. The empire lost many of its soldiers in that war. When the Fulani Jihad started about 20 years later, the empire could not withstand the attacks of the Fulani during the time of May Ali's son, who was called May Ahmad Alimi.